Hey everyone, I'm working in Lua and Love 2D today, making a turn-based role-playing game from basically scratch. If you don't know about Love 2D, it's well, it's technically called Love, but the website's Love 2D, and it's easier to find if you type in Love 2D. Basically, it's a framework of code, and it gives you some basic things like drawing and handling input. But for the most part, you have to program the game yourself. Um, so yeah, this is a pretty new thing for me. I'm mainly used to making games in editors like Godot and Game Maker, but so this is pretty interesting for me. Gives a change of pace and everything. Anyway, let's run the game, see where we left off. So right now, I'm not in the turn-based role-playing game mode, but I will go back to that. Interesting. It looks like my filtering is fixed. I could be wrong. This was a test I made so that I could get like collision and movement going. But if I go up here and I change the game mode to battle, you're going to see a very pitiful battle scene. 'Cause this is all I have right now. None of these buttons aren't even functional. So that's what I'll be working on today, getting these buttons going. And yeah, keep in mind, a lot of this is very new to me, and I'm gonna make mistakes, but we'll figure it out. And you're welcome to follow along. I mean, obviously, since I'm jumping right in the middle of something, you're probably not going to be able to like build this from scratch if you don't already, have some familiarity with these systems. But maybe you can glean some ideas. So buttons. I have to turn off my radio. I'll be right back. So I think the first thing, so I need to make a button. Mm, so right now I'm making a button class. Mm-hmm. I think that's fine. I think that's how we handle that. Um, so it needs to handle input. For now, I just need to check if it's focused, right? Or do I want to have the menu handle that? But then a button would always have to be within a menu. Should I throw in some capitalization there? Oh, geez. Oh, cool. It did not like that. Let's see. I don't know why it doesn't like that. I do it now that I open it. I guess it's not recognizing the change. Interesting. Anyway. So for now, I'm pretty much going to emulate Godot, because that's what I know. Is that the way to go? Oh, man. Well, no, buttons do need to be their own thing because they need to be able to handle mouse input. We could always add that later. We can even do that. It's over here. And if self.items item so if it already exists in it, we don't add that item. I think that's okay for now. Currently, I don't think I'm going to use the button. We do want to use the menu though. And maybe we're not even using a VBox container. I'm just trying to keep it simple before I overcomplicate it. So now these buttons, let's go to main. Got too many things open here. Main should be at the front. And then we can make an instance of menu here. And items. That's going to be this table. So battle's not going to have that. We're going to put this stuff in here. And eventually the enemy will be its own object as well. This whole update goes into menu. We'll put it here, changes to menu. I don't think we have to change any of that. The drawing. That's the enemy down there. So we're just going to take this stuff. And get rid of that. And we have. Okay, menu draw. Need to close it. And for example, we can just do like menu draw. And if we run it, we want to see that menu drawing. Global menu, nil value. We have to do self.menu. Table expected got nil because I didn't rename it. So it's going to be self.items. There we go. We have to update this. So I'm still calling buttons somewhere. Items. Any other? Okay. So that should fix that. All right, cool. So our menu is now a separate thing and it works. I don't even think we have to call the draw in battle right now. Yeah. So, good. We should probably go ahead and split up the enemy as well. The enemy is going to eventually be a button. For now, I'm just going to make a sprite class because I know I'll need that eventually. Yes, this does get to be a little tedious, but what can you do? So the sprite is going to have a texture. I'm going to throw up here. And it's going to be love.graphics.draw self.texture. And then we have to put the X and Y. And so since that's all the enemy's doing, let's go down to just want to show you kind of like the workflow as I see it. Put the sprite up here. And now this is going to be self dot. For now, we'll just have enemy equals sprite. And I wonder if I should be able to send the texture through. That's probably a smart way to do it. For now, we're going to keep it separate. So enemy set texture. And it's going to be this. And I dot move to, I think is what we call it. And let's take a look at our entity script real quick. Didn't want that. Yeah, move to and then X and Y. It does not want a table there. So move to. Okay. So we make the enemy, we update its things. Now we don't have to draw anything for the battle right now. I'm going to save that. And what we want to see is the enemy is still drawing. That'll tell us if it's working. Beautiful. So we just took this battle, which was handling all this stuff on its own, and now it's split up into reusable parts. That's really, really important. That's like really basic, but my thought process when, as I'm learning this, is that I just want to get like the really basic things done, and that's why I had the battle doing all that stuff first, because I know that like later on I have to split it up, but it was more important for me to see something working, to get something drawing before I went and did all this kind of background work. We can see we're not resetting the color there in the sprite. I might make that a reusable thing. So I'm going to take this, and I have this color script. Put it at the top. Oops. Reset. And I think the alpha defaults to 1, but we can put it in there too. So that's going to be a little shorthand for that. So now we can just call that. We do it here too. Okay. And let's just make sure everything works as intended. Yeah, cool. So we probably want some input handling with the buttons beyond just moving through them. Like we want a button accept. So for now, I could have the menu handle that. And that's going to look something like, I think it's key pressed, yeah. And like if key equals, I think that's the now if we close it out, okay, so we're not receiving that. Let's see if it just doesn't like that. Yeah, so it's just, we're getting the input, it's just I didn't have the right, maybe it's called return. Yep, now we're getting so essentially we can just look at the items. So we can do like self.items, self.index, and now that'll print the name of the current button. See it down there. So with that, we can check against that string, or we could just use the index, which is probably better. So for now, this will look like if key equals 1, then no, I don't think the menu is not going to care about the specific things. What we'll do is I'll do it just like I did it in Godot. So we're going to need signals. I have to do new. I don't totally remember the syntax there. Might pull that up. Signal.new. Yeah, so I had it right. And just want to make sure I have the button. Maybe I should just keep it like that. Yeah. So now we can do self.signal emit. And if we look at the syntax, we can send through arguments. Okay, so it'll be like button pressed, and the arguments would be in a table, I believe. We can go double check, but No, you just send them through. So we'd have like self.items, self.index, and then self.index. So I'm going to send through the button name and the index. Might make that a reusable function. Something like that. So now that we're emitting that, we need to receive it. So the battle can connect to that after we make the menu. I think they call it connect in this as well. They call it register. And so it's going to be the signal first, right? Yeah. And the function, we can make it right here. I think it has to receive, so we just put button. And let's split this up so it's easier to read. Make sure to end it. Yeah, I think that's fine. So the button, for now, that's all we're going to do. So now the battle is handling that. If we see it, okay, we're getting nil, which means the button is not being sent through. Self get current button. Oh, because it's name. That's why. I don't need to go any further. Let's see. All right, cool. It works. So we want to do like if button dot index equals 1, then let's fight else if button index equals 2, then I don't know how to do that yet. Actually, so we'll see, let's fight, and then we'll see a bunch of, I don't know how to do that yet. Oh. And so here's where we want the enemy, not that enemy, that's from the bullet game. The enemy right now is just a sprite. I want to try and avoid too much inheritance. I want to try doing like more function-based things. For example, in color, what if we have like a hit flash? Call it alpha flash. Entity. So we send through an entity and we'll apply that onto it. I think we do want. For now, we'll just use the global signals. Damn, my allergies are bad. I'm gonna get some eye drops. I will be right back. So if we look at signal, I believe there's it's called during. Oh no, I don't need signal. I need timer. I'm gonna do timer. I need timer every. Timer during. So we just have every frame, it's going to choose a random alpha. And we'll supply the duration. So if not duration or duration less than 0, error. Some of these might be redundant, but just trying to make it clear. So during the duration, we supply the function, right? And then there's an after optional. Okay. So this will be function entity dot alpha equals math dot random. And at the end, and so that's a basic hit flash. Probably just break it up to make it easier to read. This also has to be a function. Yeah, that's fine. We'll put that up there. So for this duration, every frame we're gonna choose a random alpha and do that. Now the problem is that we don't have alpha in place yet. We're not utilizing that. Uh, 1.0. And we probably want to change that to like a modulate, like they do in Godot. But for now, we'll just do the alpha. So let's look at that sprite. And actually, instead of color reset, we want to do, we can't use that now. Alpha. So let's save that. Let's go to our battle. And we're just going to do self.color.alpha flash. It's going to be self.enemy. And let's say 1 second. So when I press fight, boom. It's really nice when things just work like that. I'm going to try pressing it a bunch of times. And I think that's okay, even though we technically have multiple of these going. Maybe that we don't want that. I don't think it's a huge deal. So the enemy, when they take a hit, need their HP to go down. I don't know, maybe the enemy does need a script, because then we can just be like, you know, self.enemy.healHurt. Something like that. Alright. So this old enemy script I'm going to rename to, no. We're just going to close it. New directory. Let's make sure it still runs. I know the shooter part won't. Yeah. That should fix that. Let's get rid of player for now. Enemy spawner. Bullet. Alright, hopefully that fixes it. Alright, we're back. Heal hurt. Yeah, it's because I never made that. Get rid of that. So, we make a new directory. Something like that. And so battle can now go in there. And then we're going to make a new enemy in here. So let's get that there. So we want to take and just kind of replace that. We're going to need this. No, not sprite. The battle needs a reference to the enemy. Just do that. So now they're just making a new enemy. It's gonna choose. It's gonna set its sprite and everything. See if that works. Index field enemy. This is gonna be. Yeah. And I'm gonna move ourself. Now, currently, I don't think the sprite is going to update based on the enemy's position. Yeah. And that's where we need to get into, like, adding these components, or adding the children, as they would call it in Godot, so that when we move this, we're moving all of its children as well. I think that's the way I want to do it. I'm just going to think real quick. Let's see. So X and Y are separate like that. I think we probably want to make that a table. The self dot local. Self dot global equals. And get rid of that. It's going to break a few things for sure. This will be self.local equals everything. Okay, maybe we can keep that for now. Let's just make sure we didn't break anything. Something's broken. It's broken. Expected. I don't see a problem. Oh, well. But basically, we want the enemy. When we move the enemy, we need sprite to update. Right now I'm using it like components. I'm gonna just stick with the Godot form. Add child. And entity. So it is going to be kind of the same here. Children. Is self-taught children. Just like that language better. So now we can do like that. And yeah, I think we're probably going to get rid of the components thing. For now, it can stay. We're just going to copy it for entities. Seems okay for now. Table X. Position won't be updating yet. I just want to make sure everything's good. Table expected got nil, so we never made that on entity. All right. Now we can get to the position updating. Oh man. So it needs to be like that. Just to make it beautiful. So if we moved, then we need to update the position of all the children. That's just temporary. That's not long term. Okay, so that's not working. Maybe we don't set this right away. Maybe these are 0, 0. No, it's not doing it. Let's see if we're getting down there. Let's look at the enemy. Okay, so it should be moving. So I just have to do this. Where's Oh, that works now. That's weird. And then we have to update. So self.x. So we update our previous positions. That way it's only called once. So let's do that one time. Well, once for every entity that has position. Cool. So the problem is that we need to have a local position as well as a global, because we have this enemy that is right at the center of the screen. It actually might be like right here. I'm not totally sure. Let's look. 1 is 16. No, it is because we're subtracting the sprite, half of the sprite. So we want the local position of the sprite to be 0. Do I just want to call that offset? Do it like this. And anytime we draw, we need to factor in the offset. X and Y. I think we have to factor in the offset there. So if I give, let's say we actually center that. The enemy's gonna like be pushed to the bottom right a bit, see? But what I want to do here is give the sprite an offset. And we need to make that function. And So what happens when we set X or Y directly, though? So it is working. I guess we could just set it directly. I don't know. Here we can just do. So that applies the offset. Everything should still. Oh. Is it that line breaking? Self.x, self.y. It's weird. Oh no. So we're only calling it here. That sprite is made. That's why. That should fix that. There we go. It's definitely going to need work, but I'm kind of getting to what we want. The real test will be when we get containers. And so if I have a horizontal container that, we need those positions to update automatically. He'll hurt, yeah. So he'll hurt. That's fine. And so now we're just going to put that through there. I'm not going to use value. Need an entity. Just have to put self. Okay. Alright, not quite getting it. So our alpha is not getting passed down to the sprite, is why. There has to be a better way of doing this. If I do local, let me try that. I think if I do local, it's going to affect all entities. And also the color won't be able to access it. But we could do like, let's just copy this. So that should look like that. And then we have to make that an entity. It's just a test. And if it works, that'd be great. Does that work? Let's see. Let's see. All right, so we are getting that code. It's just not working. Let's go back to that. Save that for now. Bring that back. So because I didn't save that. Oh. Okay. Oh, duh. We just want to do the sprite. So that works. Now I want to go back to trying it with the local. Let's see if that works. No. Yeah. All right. I'm back. So that's fine. In main, that's where we're going to use the color reset. I think. Yeah, whatever. We'll figure it out. Actually, it's just going to be a table. So you're going to have HP equals 1. I think we can put functions in here. It'd be like I think I'm just gonna do this. So for now, let's just do that. We want the enemy to have battle actor data, so we can do this. And and then we can do So we just pass that down. So it's a table. So do I just call that? Enemy. So we could copy it. I think I have a function for that. Let's try that. Okay. Global HP and nil value. Does self work within this? We have this health component that I made. I don't know. I think it's time to take a break. So I will end it there. Let me know if you have any questions or whatever, and I will talk to you next time. Good luck with your game.